for our own motherland, a junction of the two great systems, Hinduism and Islam.
আমারই চেতনার রঙে পান্না হয়ে উঠুক সবুজ, চেতনার রঙে অনুভূতি হয়ে উঠুক লাল।
Hi guys, welcome to my channel The Fulfilment. Today I will share my experiences to become a good speaker. Most of the people, the doctors, the engineers, the teachers, the public and also the political persons, they try to become a good lecturers. Because a good lecturer is always welcomed by all kinds of people of our society. That's why I share my experiences. I think this video will be very much helpful to be a good lecturer. First of all, a good lecturer must be courageous. He or she will be self-confident. He or she will avoid all the weakness, because weakness is sin, weakness is death. That's why he must be courageous to become a good lecturer. Secondly, before getting on the stage, a lecturer must visualize. For a certain period of time, he or she should imagine that he or she is addressing to the audience, and the audience, they are listening his or her speech, they are very much spellbound, and the audience, they are inferior in knowledge to him. And he also will think that all the audience are very familiar. They are perhaps the members of his or her family. If he or she visualizes this, imagines this, it will give him or her a sense of confidence. It will give him a positive mood to go forward for giving lectures very rightly. Okay, so visualization is a good quality. Next, a lecturer or a person who wants to be a good lecturer, first of all, getting on the stage, he or she should stand up straight. He or she should straight his spinal cord. He or she should spread his or her shoulders. It will give the audience a positive message. Perhaps they will be fallen love at first sight. So this appearance, that standing straight and good approach to the audience must be welcomed. Next, that is the content, that is the subject matter of the speech. Every speaker must be aware of the content, that is the subject matter. He must have the sufficient knowledge about the matter, because he or she will not be able, if he or she has not the proper knowledge of the subject. There are two types of lectures, extempore lectures and selected lectures. Those who will give the extempore lectures, for the extempore lectures there is no script. Within a few seconds, the lecturer, he or she must have to chalk out the matter, what he or she will deliver to the audience. But for the selected speech, the speaker must make ready the script for the lectures. And in this regard, he or she has to read a lot of books, journals, to prepare the script. He or she must maintain the critical thinking, because a speech is like an essay that should have a beginning, a middle and an end. That's why the speaker must try properly to make a script for the selected speech, and that is his notepad. But for the extempore lectures, the brain is the notepad. Therefore, the speaker must be ready for the content to deliver. And in this regard, a speaker never will throw any wrong information. Okay. Next point, enticing beginning. A good speaker always begins his speech in a very, very enticing way. And in this way, he can welcome all the audience to hear, to listen his speech. What is the enticing way? You may start your speech by quoting any poetic lines, by quoting any quotations of great persons. And in such a way, you may start it in a very, very enticing way. Next, the presentation should be very, very artistic. For the artistic presentation, a speaker must use rhetorics. For the development of art of speech, a speaker should have the knowledge of rhetoric. He must use some stories, but the stories must be relevant to convince the audience. And he must use simple sentences, not complex or compound sentences. So by virtue of stories, by virtue of simple sentences, simple words, you will welcome the appreciation of the audience. Next point, a good speaker never repeat any idea that he told before. Never repeat any sentences. That's why try to avoid repetition, because repetition can mar the beauty of the speech. That's why the good speaker always try to avoid repetition. The next point, that is utterance. You should develop your utterance, your voice, the ups and downs of your voice, so that it will be very much attractive. Sometimes when there is the revolutionary idea, you must give importance on the words for stressing. But when there is a matter of love, you must say it in a very soft way. And where there is punctuation mark, you must stop and you should follow the punctuations. And that's why your utterance will be developed. But above all, a good speaker must have a sense of humor. When he or she will deliver his or her lectures, he or she must use this method, that is sense of humor. He or she will be humorous in presenting his or her speech, because the audience, they will enjoy this humorous way of presentation, and in such way the monotony of the speech will be wiped out, will be removed. Next, a good speaker will be the problem solver. Through your speech, through your presentation, through your lecture, a good speaker must always place a message, a positive message, how to solve the problems of the audience, how to solve any problems that they are going to be suffered. So that's why that the role of a good speaker must be a problem solver. Next point, I suggest you, that is the vivid presentation of image. When you are giving any description, you should have to place it vividly. By virtue of the words, you should have to paint in the minds of the audience a picture. As for example, you are giving the description of the flood affected people of Sundarban. How are you giving the description? The people of Sundarban, they are in great troubles, they are roofless, they have nothing to eat, nothing to drink. Only they are waiting for a drop of drinking water, for a bread. They are the sons and soils of the earth. Only the rains and the storms and the sunshine dance in their cottages. So in such description, in such vivid presentation, there is the image of the flood affected people that is created by virtue of your words in the minds of audience. So vivid presentation of image is a good quality of a good speaker. Next, I share the experience that a good speaker must interact with the audience. Sometimes he or she will throw questions to the audience and the audience reply. And in such way, an emotional bridging will be set up. As for example, you are giving a lecture against any oppressor. You are asking the audience, do you like this? Don't you protest? They will reply positively. So in such a way, an emotional bridging will be met between the audience and the speaker. Lastly, in the conclusion, a good speaker gives the synopsis of his lectures and ultimately he gives the ending message by which the audience's life will be illuminated. Lastly, I share another feeling that a good lecturer must be a good person. A good lecturer must be a good listener. He or she will listen the speech of the other great speakers. And above all, he or she will be a good reader because reading will give him most informations. So if you share these experiences, I think you will be profitable. Your life will be optimistic as a good speaker. My well wishes and best of luck for you. That's the end of the video. If you like it, if you think it profitable, if you think it valuable, please like, subscribe and comments, and you will get notification for such types of video. Thanks a lot.